Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this follow along, I want to take a look at running the AWS CLI via Docker. So I already have my Gitpod environment open here. And in here, I'm going to create a new folder called Docker. We actually really don't need to make much here, but I'm going to make one anyway so that we can kind of just write it out and have a reference to it. But the idea is that we should be able to run the AWS CLI within a Docker container, and that Docker container is available, or Docker image is available on the Docker Hub. So if I go over here, you can see it is hosted here, and we do have some Docker CLI usage down below. So that's a really good command that we can go ahead and grab. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one here. Okay, and so what this will do is if we run this down here, and I already have, just so you know, I already have Docker installed here. And if you're doing this in your local developer environment, you'd have to install Docker. Docker is a big pain in the butt, so I really do recommend to do this in a cloud developer environment. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll copy this command here, and we're going to paste it in. And what you'll notice is that it's going to say that it did not find the image, and it's going to go ahead and download the image. And so that image will be stored on this machine now once it finishes, and then it will run the command, which is the -- version. Okay, so we'll give it a moment there, and it should show us it running. So there it is, 2.1.15.4. That's telling us the version. And so we'll go here and just say install Docker container and show us the version. Just say attempt to list out S3 buckets. Okay, and so we try to do this. If we copy this here, and then we put our command on the end, it shouldn't work because this is running in an isolated environment. We have Docker installed here, but it probably won't show because it's so darn quick. But the issue here is that when we attempt to run this line here, it ran the last line with the version, not the one that I wanted. It shouldn't work because it does not have credentials within that container. And so it's not going to be able to locate anything. So we're going to have a way to give it access to that. And the way we would do that is by mounting a local volume. And so a common way would be mounting the .aws directory. When I use cloud developer environments, I don't really use credentials, but in this case, we will use it. So what I'll do is go over to IAM, and I'm going to create out new credentials just to make this super easy. And I don't want to have to rotate out my current credentials. So we'll go here into this user account, and I'm going to create another access key and secret. So just choose any option. First option's fine. We'll say create access key, and so we have an access key and secret. So I'm going to go ahead and type in AWS configure, and we'll paste in our key, and then we'll copy the secret. I'll paste in the secret. We'll hit enter, enter. That's all good. And so now what I want to do is open up here the AWS credentials file. Actually, we don't have to because it'll be the default value, but I'll just show you where it is. We'll go here and notice that it set these credentials as the default. So now it should utilize these credentials. However, this environment uses AWS environment variable, so it actually is using the other key, but that doesn't matter. We just want it to work for the Docker container. So what I'm going to do here is just make this a bit easier by bringing these down into separate lines. So we can bring this down on a line. Whoops. We'll say now connect with credentials. And I'm just going to bring this line down here, and this can be here. And then we'll say -v. And the idea is we're going to mount those directories. So we'll have tilde AWS, and then we're going to want to map this to /root.aws. Okay, so the idea is we're taking this one here and then putting it to the root AWS, because I believe that root AWS is where it will look for it, because I don't think there's like user profiles and things like that. That's why we don't map it to the, we don't do like tilde here, we do root instead. So we have the command there, and I'm just gonna go ahead here and do this like that. Okay, and you know, we could also source this from ECR. So right now this is coming from Docker Hub, but I kind of would prefer to get it from ECR, which is from AWS. That way we know we're always up to the latest one, and that's actually what I end up using here in the slides. If the slides would like to move here today, there we go. Nope. I'm trying to drag the slides onto the screen here, but they're really refusing to move. Just give me a second. Okay, now I can drag these slides on here, but notice I'm using it from the repository of AWS's repository for ECR, Elastic Container Registry, as opposed to Docker Hub. So you can do it from either or. Again, I prefer to get it from AWS. But I think what's going to happen here is that when we run this, it's going to download it again because now we're downloading an image from a different location. So notice it doesn't know where it is. It's going to go ahead and download it. So we'll just wait a little while here. And notice that it runs and it's showing me my buckets. So if you don't have any buckets, you won't see anything in here, but at least you won't get an error. But the point is this is how we would run it authenticated. So that's all there really is to it. If you're running this locally, you are going to want to maybe clean up that image afterwards. You might have to type in Docker images, and you might want to delete these because these store files on your computer. So that's up to you. I think it's Docker remove. It could be images remove, Amazon AWS CLI. Docker images remove, Amazon AWS CLI. No Docker images. Help. How do we remove Docker images since I can't remember? RM-F. So I suppose that's one way we could do it. So we could try that. Now I'm in a cloud developer environment, so I don't really have to worry about this. But again, if you care about it, I'm just showing you here. Let's see if we can do this. Probably I for the name. Let's try this. There we go. And so I think we're able to remove that. We list images again here. And so that's how you can delete those repos and get back that space on your computer, because those Docker images do take up a lot of room. But we'll see in the next one, okay? Ciao.